Good morning. So today what we're going to focus on is we're going to focus on this area here, and then we're also going to continue above the eyes and see how much we can get nailed out on his facial structure. Okay, so if you look at the fox, on the side of his face here, there's a little bit of gray in there. So I've put in some gray glass to create that shadowing. So it appears gray. So what I have to keep in mind is I've got these whiskers to navigate. So I don't want to put a really long piece like this in there, because then it changes the direction of the fur on his face. So what I've done is I've cut some really short pieces. And it's finicky to get the little pieces in, but once you get them in, then you're doing well. I think half my challenge is getting them in the tweezer here. So just getting it into the tweezer and just sticking it in there. Oops, they fly as well. So I've already put glue in. So I'm just putting those tiny pieces in just like that. Okay, so I filled in this area a little bit, but I will have to go back and add more. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to focus on continuing to put some of the side pieces in. And then I'll go in and fill that other area. So with the window propped up, it has its challenges occasionally as well. Things that I focus on as I'm putting in primarily whites in this particular area is trying to ensure that I don't pick pieces and put them beside each other, that they are all exactly the same length. I want different lengths, nothing too big or too long. Just kind of making it where they stagger. So even if I have little tiny pieces, I can just fit them in there. Again, since the window's propped upright, sometimes they slide, so it's a little more finicky at times. But it's also a good way to demo to you all on some of the challenges that I incur when I'm creating. And the whole point of this, doing this step by step and explaining to you why I'm doing it, is then you'll know when you're applying this technique to whatever animal that you choose to do on your own as well. So we'll just put that there. We're going to add some more glue. I'm going to go down here, but you see, what I want to do is I want to, in this area, have longer pieces so it doesn't get too, so it doesn't blend into this particular, which are really sharp pieces. So I will grab this one, for instance, and see. That'll work, except it's a pinch too long, so we'll take a little bit off the top. And again, when you're working with these tiny little pieces, it's important that as you're placing them, that that they're not on their side. You want to make sure that they're flat side up. Okay, now I'm going to stick a little sharp piece in there because I'm far enough away from that area. And I'm going to cut this piece. I'll just stick that in there. And then what I'm going to do is I have that piece. I'm just going to bring the piece that I cut off And I'm going to stick that right there. And I'll continue to bring this particular side of his face down this way. You can see here at the bridge of his nose that there's a pretty much distinct line, and then all these pieces come this way, and that's what creates your 3-dimension. So it doesn't look like it's flat. It looks like it's layered almost, but it's not. Hi. So what I wanted to point out is here, you can see right here how I've kind of made that a bit shaggy looking, and I've also like brought the glass whites throughout, so it looks like it's just literally the hair is laying in behind the whiskers. So that's how you create that look. Now we're going to fill in this area with some reds, and we will tuck in a few little whites, and then down here in this area it'll definitely be all this beigey caramel looking color. I might even put some browns in there just to kind of spice it up because it's a little shadowed in this area here. So let me just see here. Right here it's kind of shadowed, so I'll put some browns in there as well, just to create, again, depth in the fur. And so there's a variety of whites, there's a variety of grays, there's a variety of this caramel color, beige color, and that's beneficial. So if you use different pieces of glass, blending them together, that's gonna actually really help enrichen the look of realism in your piece. So we are motoring along on this fox today. So just under here, I'm creating some pieces, applying some pieces that are a little bit longer than what was actually on the face, because this is some of his coat. And I've thrown in some of the beige caramel pieces, and I've also plugged in the occasional brown piece of glass as well, just to create that shadowing. And yes, I'm living on the edge because I put all the glue down, and now I have to like make decisions very fast, which sometimes is a good thing. Sometimes we can overthink things to the point of being paralyzed, not being able to make a decision. So just winging it has its advantages.